A very good evening. I think, are we in the right place? I had to switch everything around because the backend is changed and I actually couldn't find the stream where I had to stream. So I almost went to a complete different place. But do let me know if you can hear me and see me. I know this is not the best way to start the stream, but I just want to know if you're all right. I got no comments coming through or anything at all, but I'll pull it up on I will pull it up on YouTube itself, but I can't. Here she is. Yeah, so hopefully you can see me. Right. So I think we are in the right place. Yes, you are here now. Right. Okay. So we're not going to have comments are not coming through. I don't know what's happening to the system, but never mind. We will be all right. We'll get going. I can see you. I can see the comments. I just can't bring them into the picture for you, but that's not a problem at all. If I no, that's not going to work. You know, one of these things, when you start something and something doesn't work, it just throws you off. That's what happened. Just throw me up. Let me have a sip of my drink. That usually solves everything, isn't it? My good evening. Let me just have a look in the chat here. Diane, Amelia, Brenda, Jean, Rachel, Susan, Marissa, Dean, Elizabeth, Pauline, and there's so many of you lovelies here. Caroline, Gwen, Susan. Oh, there's so many of you lovelies here. Lou, Escher, Rachel. So many of lovelies are here. And he's saying, yes, all looks good. Very good. So today we're going to be playing with these beautiful saddle beads. And I have to say, I have had my eye on them like all week. They were like, I had to put a thing on the top so I wouldn't see them all the time because I am dying to play with it. I think we could do I'm going to go down on a pendant style again to start with, but I think they will be perfect for bracelets and other bits of pieces because they will sit perfectly on the top. So they will be, but actually, what am I doing? Let me turn me down. Let me turn you down to the table so you can see what I am talking about, these beautiful beads. Let me just move the camera a bit. So there we go. So this is what we're going to be playing today. Let me just move this like that. Hold on 1 second. Move these windows about so I can see everything. There we go. Okay, so I got that. I can see loads of the comments. Right. Okay. So what I want you to let me know first of all, the comments are still not coming through in my streaming thing, so I'm gonna have to just read it out for you. While we're talking about these beads, I want you to let me know, shall we play with earth or shall we play with sky tonight? So that's the first thing I want you to let me know in the comments. Are we playing with earth or are we playing with sky? And then we will play with that colorway first. So do let me know in the comments. The saddle beads, and I'm going to bring them up to you. They are really perfect. They like just the shape of a saddle. Little crystals faceted on the top. There is a hole going through at the bottom, and I think they're gonna sit together so nicely as a pendant, just like that. Let's see. I'm just molding around my finger, and it gives you this beautiful, beautiful shape. Right. So we have earth, sky, earth, earth, sky, 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 earth, sky. Earth, earth, sky, earth, 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 earth. Earth has got 10, sky's got 6 so far. Earth, 11, earth, earth, earth. Earth is 14, earth is 15, sky 17, 18 versus 8. So I'm gonna say Earth 1. That's it. So we're gonna put sky to the side. We're gonna swish it to the side. We're gonna play with you later, don't worry. And we're gonna play with these beauties. I love this color, this mermaid color. Oh, I just think she's got both, and he's saying she couldn't choose. She's got both as well. Oh, brilliant! We're gonna have so much fun. Right? Okay, so let's start. Let's start with. I'm just gonna pop these out here so I see what I have in front of me to play with. Let's start. So there's two ways we can design and like sort of make a pendant. So we either start with these and then we work ourselves inwards, or we start with the middle and we work ourselves outwards. So depending what I do, usually sometimes I start inwards first and then go outwards, or start outwards and then go inwards. They're both correct. I'm just looking. Why not this one in here? I'm just looking for my lint roller, I think it's called. I'm not sure what is it called. So I can get just really annoyingly these little fluffs off the table so you can see it nice and clear. There we go. There we are. So are we starting in the middle, or there is two things. We could do like more of a chariot style to use these beautiful bugle beads as well, or we could do other beads. We could use those would be quite nice. 6s, 8s and the 15s. So I'm gonna start on the outside on this occasion, and then we're gonna go and reverse engineer it. So I'm gonna grab a needle and I'm gonna grab a thread. I think I'm gonna use this beautiful color, and in between on the outer edge, if we add a size 11, I think that will give us probably the right amount of gap to hook into. So let's try that. Now I'm just going to grab a thread, and because I'm just going to grab any thread. There you go, that will do. Just very quickly, oh, this got something. So this is when you have to thread your needle live. It never does want to work. Right, let me just see in the comments. Can anyone please help me out? Elizabeth is saying, my picture is very hazy. I'm watching on a tablet. Is there a way to make the video clearer, or has anyone else got a hazy picture? Do let me know. It should be all right. Sometimes it can be your internet connection, which I'm going to discard this needle because it's got a little bit something stuck in the eye. So as you are watching it on YouTube, and let me just pull it up, there is a little gear icon, and if you click on the little gear icon, let me just pull it up as well so I can tell you where, but actually in iPad it would be different. So if you click on the gear icon, usually you can change there we go. So you can change the quality, and the quality of the picture is 480p is the what automatically sets to it. So if you want a higher resolution, then you go and set it to 720 or 1080. 1080 is the highest one. So if you got a nice and quick internet connection, then you can set it to 1080, and that will give you a really good picture. So if that's in the little gear icon, if you press on the little gear icon and you click on quality, then that's where you can set what quality do you want to watch the picture at. So automatically it's set at 480, but you can put it up to 720 or 1080. 1080 is the best one. That's like HD. So the larger device you're watching, the better quality you want. So do let me know if that works. Linda is saying you're out of focus. So do let me know if that works. You changing the quality of the how you're watching it on your end. Because that's the only way. That's the only thing. But I'm streaming in 1080, so I'm streaming in HD to you. So it's your end and your setting how you are watching it. Right, I'm gonna use these larger ones. Actually, probably gonna take both of them out. So if anybody tried to press that little gear icon, then do let me know. I haven't got an iPad. Have I got my iPad here? I can't show you on the iPad. Oh, it's over there. I could show you on the iPad. Linda's saying that works. Yes, much better. So always remember that the YouTube sets it to 480. That's every single stream they start at 480, and you can go in and make the picture better quality. Right, so well, it doesn't really matter if you work with uneven or even numbers. If you want it about, let's do a smaller one to start with, so we can get through it quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm going to do 10, but then again, they would sit nicely together between larger beads as well. So if we did 10, let's just design it on the mat for a sec, actually, before we start stitching. So if you want 10 beads on the outside, and we're going to have a seed bead in between, we want some larger beads sitting on the inside. So I am thinking to have like 2 pearls, and this will sit on the 2 pearl just like that. I'm going to zoom in for you just in a little bit more. So I'm going to need twice the amount of pearls in the row in. So maybe we need to start with the pearls. Now I'm going to start with a 6 mil. Might actually need to go down to the 4 mil. Let's just double check. But we're experimenting, so it could be. So I want this. If we do like a loop of 4 mils, and I'm just playing here, and I'm going to zoom in. There we go. I want this to sit above it. No, maybe the 4 mil will be too small. I think we need a 6 mil. So I'm going to pick up. But I'm just guessing here. You know, I'm not sure what we're doing yet. We're just playing. Do let me know what you're doing and what you're playing with. Also, if you got any pictures for me, what you playing with, please do let me know in the comments that you sent me a picture, and I will pop it in the. I can show the picture off, because that side is still work. It's just the comments. It's not coming through at the moment, but. Sometimes it might start working later on, but can you imagine if we were in multiple places, then we would lose all the comments. So I'm going to start with a 6 mil. I'm going to go with my gut feeling, because my gut feeling was 6 mil. I'm going to put on 12, let's say. 10, 11, 12. Or if I did 4 mil, I could have added a seed bead in between. Never mind. So I'm going to go through all of these just to form a nice circle. I don't want to knot my tail end and my working end together, just in case if that knot seeps into the pearl and I can't go through the pearl anymore. Just move these seed beads just down a little bit, out of the way. Zoom in a tiny bit more. Elizabeth saying, aha, it might have been the link. I have just left and came in without the link. Now the picture is clear as well. Oh, that's good. Right, I'm right at my tail. I'm just going to go past my tail so I'm not working right next to the tail. I got the window open. Can you hear the kids next door there in the garden? If that bothers you, do let me know when I shut the window. But I just wanted to let some nice fresh air in. So what I want to achieve, and I'm going to pop it down and just have a little play with it and see. So I want these crystal beads to sit on the outer edge just like that. So we're going to have to come up with seed beads on the top here, which these beads are going to link onto it. They would look nice sitting on the top as well, but I kind of like want them to the side. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or can we fit, if we use the smaller one, can we fit one on each one? If we use the smaller one, actually we could fit one on each one. So actually putting the large ones to the side, and I'm just going to cut the strand for the smaller one and see if they're going to sit better or they're going to look better. But we'll try all sorts of different ones. Oh, Victor is saying I'm still working on Russian spiral. Brenda's saying mine is buffering. Do let me know why is that. Sometimes it can be the connection. Sometimes, like I had a problem yesterday, I was trying to watch something that it kept buffering and buffering and buffering, and I actually restarted my computer and that solved all the problems. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add a seed bead in between every one of those pearls. Just sort of this seed bead is gonna sit towards the top there, just like that. Maybe we added too many pearls on here, but hey ho, for the first try, we will adjust it later on. Do you excuse my nails? I do need to have my nails done, but I just could not get to the salon this week. I am going to be going on Monday or Tuesday. But you're not watching the stream for my nails, you're watching it for the beautiful beads. There we go. So I'm just going to very quickly run around, and then we can add more beads into this size 11 beads, what we're adding on the top here. Get the tail out of the way. Right, let me know in the comments if you're beading along with me and what you are doing. Let me know if you are trying less pearls, if you're trying a different size pearl, if you have got an idea as well. And gonna keep on going. Once we got around, I think we need to add another one. I'm just gonna grab the little crystal and see how much more we need to add on. Right, I stepped up as well, so went all the way around, added one seed bead each one of the caps. They're not sitting the same way right now, but they will pull right in a straight line once we go in with the next row. So if I'm trying the smallest one, if I want, then this one is gonna have to sit. This one is gonna, if I want to sit at the top there, I'm gonna need an extra 2 seed beads, but kind of like to sit this just like that. So if I want this to sit just right on top of that seed bead, then we're going to have to go ahead and add more seed beads on here. So I'm going to add, I reckon 5. 5 will be the right amount of number, but let me just try that out. Yeah, 5 is going to look nice, just like that. So I'm going to add 5 seed beads. And now I'm going into the little seed beads I just added. There we go. And then before I go any further, I'm just going to grab this. And when we come back in the next row, we're just going to add these crystals right at the end. And see how does that. And then I think for the next try, what I would like to try is to start with an 8mm with the pearl in the middle and add seed bead and pearls and then more, and then the crystals on the side. Looks like a little flower. Oh, Elizabeth is saying, I have been missing so many of the lives and I have been working on the day you have them. You have been home yet, Kitty? Your mum often pops into my head. No, not yet, lovely. I'm going soon. Could the saddle beads work with the dome shape outwards like a petal? Yeah? I think so. Have a little go, have a little play, and then you send me a picture and I can pop the picture in to show everybody. That's my love about this. Can you hear the seagulls? We still got 2 chicks on the roof. Two beautiful chicks on the roofs we still got. So I'm just adding 5 seed beads on and we see what happens. This is actually quite nerve-wracking to do a live like this, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day because I don't know what is it going to turn out. I don't know what we're going to make, but we're going to have fun, and that's what counts. I think I like those colors together. I like that gold and this pink together. Can you let me know if you can hear the seagulls? I can hear them really loud. They're actually quite friendly, to be honest. Everybody says, but the seagull, which is then when we had that little bit of a stormy weather a couple of weeks ago, and that chick fall off the roof, and the chick let me to pick him or her up. I don't know if he's a boy or girl, and put back to the roof. Oh, and just say your nails look fine, thanks. Oh, they desperately need doing, but I'll have to. I just had so much ongoing. Right, I'm almost all the way around. And we see if this idea works, or we're gonna have to. By like doing it, for me, I don't really like the hole in the middle, so I think we need something in the middle. But then some pendants, like maybe, because you haven't really done pendants where you have got like a big hole in the middle, and then let me just get rid of these bits will come out of the pearls by the holes. Just really do annoy me. So now I'm gonna step up. Let's just have a look. When we situate these beads here, turn around, I'm gonna have to go to 3. So okay, so I'm gonna go into the first loop. I'm gonna go through the first 4 beads. So I got 1 bead left towards my inner circle. Then I'm gonna pick up one of this saddle bead and I'm gonna go through the next loop. I'm gonna go through the 2nd, 3rd and 4th bead, just like that. So I'm missing the first one and I'm missing the last one. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Can you see that? I'm gonna go through those 3 and then pull this up, and this then just gonna sit in that groove just like that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the next one. Again, I'm gonna miss this one here. I'm gonna miss the first one on the next loop and go to the 2nd, 3rd and 4th and pull this up just like that. And I'm gonna carry on all the way around. But saying that, I think these are, we will come around and we'll add a seed bead on the back there, and that will force these to face more towards the front just in a second. But I'm not sure if we just pick, let me just pick up a bigger one and see what happens if you added a bigger one on it. We can always take it off. I'm actually not sure if I like the bigger ones or the smaller ones. What do you think? Bigger one or smaller one? Do let me add another one on, and then I can come back and take the ones off what you think. Bigger one or smaller one? And we're gonna add a seed bead behind, so they're gonna come sit towards the front like that. Or maybe pearls or something. We add something behind it. Bigger one or smaller one? Let me know in the chat. Who cares if it works out? It's fun trying. Yeah, absolutely, Angela. That's the whole. This is what I love, and this is what I'm like miss like a lot, because I used to be able to play more and more and more, and like I would be sitting in front of the TV and just playing with my beads for 2 days straight and getting through a whole seasons of, I don't know, whatever I would be watching. And I haven't been able to do that for quite some time. Pamela's saying the smaller ones. Rachel is saying smaller ones. Beth saying I like the larger ones. I prefer smaller ones. Judith is saying, right, so more of you saying the smaller ones. I'm going to take the larger ones off. Oh, actually, what we could do, we could put the larger ones in between the smaller ones. But, and I want to try one. Please, please, please. Yeah, very good. I was just sort of, every single time when you're starting to stitch backwards, you kind of like praying that you didn't stitch through the thread itself, so it will be quite easily to go back in. I want to try one when we start with a very small, maybe 6 seed beads in the middle. Ooh, this looks good. Maybe we could use like little links and link them together to have more on the necklace, like make a necklace out of different size rings. Right, and we'll run around and add them in. There we go. Just a few more to add. I love it how it's like it's already started to stand up a bit. So that's good. Just push it towards the front, and then we're gonna come back and add beads behind it. So definitely gonna stand to the front. I mean, we could leave it onto the side. So I am one and leaving that one out and going through the next 3. Pulling it up nice and tight. Good evening, Vandy. She just joined that. Does it sit better with the big beads? It doesn't really matter, like if you're using bigger or small beads. I think what when you're designing anything like this, what matters the circumference of the circle what you have created. And obviously the next row has to be one bigger and the row bigger than that. So I'm going to go through the next 3. This is the last 3 I need to go through, and I'm going to come through the crystal bead as well and go to the next section. So what I want to do next is to add little seed beads behind. So this one, the crystals kind of sit towards the front, but I still think we need to add some seed beads or something in the middle, or maybe smaller pearls into the middle. Or not? What do you think? Do let me know. What my lovelies, what do you think? I think we still need something in the middle. Right, I'm gonna go through the crystal and I'm gonna go through the 3 seed beads, next 3 seed beads. And I'm just gonna pick up, let's pick up 2 seed beads and see. So I'm gonna pick up 2 seed beads. I'm gonna take this all the way down, because what I want, these 2 seed beads just sit behind the crystals. I think 2 might not be enough. I think we need 3. We need 3 seed beads. Can you see there's a tiny little gap there? So I'm going to pick up one more. And then I'm going to go through the 3 seed beads we went through before towards the next unit. And when I pull this tight, can you see these 3 seed beads just going to sit underneath here, underneath the crystal, and really going to turn that crystal towards the front. Then I'm going to pick up another 3 and hop along to the next 3 seed beads. I'm going to go all the way around. Or maybe larger beads in the middle, like if we had, I don't know, what do we think? If we have, once we went around, I'm just sort of thinking one step ahead, we could add another row of pearls and add, come on, turn around, like a larger petal. Maybe we should have, if you started this smaller, let me just run around, and what I might do, I run around, I will pop this to the side and start one with smaller, so we can have more of a flower vibe with it. Ruth is saying she likes the small pearls in the middle. I think it needs something. It needs something to put. Just turn this. But then I do have a pendant, like and donut pendants, they got large holes in the middle as well. There we go. Oh, there is another thing I just thought of. I want to try. It just feels like if there's a lot for me, when there's a large hole in the middle, I just feel like it's missing something. 1, 2, 3. Maybe. 1, 2, 3. I'm going through the next 3. Always make sure that this little loop gets to the back of the crystal, forcing the crystal to face forwards. I think it looks pretty. It's somewhat 3-dimensional as well. So it would be nice, even if you had a smaller one sitting behind, look. Even if you had that smaller one. But I think we will work out, when we do the next one, we'll work out the numbers. Need maybe the bigger one. We'll work out the numbers better. Start smaller in the middle, maybe with 6 petal, and then we can turn the 6 petal into 12 petal. I think that's what we do on the next one, and start with smaller pearls. Or what we could do is start with 1 8mm pearl in the middle, add seed beads around it, and just start adding the crystals on that. I'm going to finish this row. 1, 2, last 3 beads here, and going through that. I'm just gonna vent into the first few as well. Hold on, I want you to stop here. There we go. Right, so yeah, there's something for me. It's nice, but we need this. This is again like the Amos pendant. I had so many different versions of it, and at one point it did look like a pine cone. So let me know in the comments, what shall we do different for the second one? What do you want me to do? Are we gonna do another one? I don't think this sits quite right. I think the gap is too big in the at the bottom. So do let me know what do you think we should do different for the second one. I think we should either start with 1 8mm bead in the middle, which then on the 8mm bead we can add seed beads around it. Then onto that seed beads we can add pearls and then add our crystals, just to have a nice solid middle. Right, Rachel, what about seed beads for the inner and bigger pearl for the center? Yeah. I think a row of small pearls would just finish off the center. I don't mind the big hole in the middle. It won't because I have to use that, I can read this here. It's just so small. The writing is so small. I need glasses for this. Let me see if I can. Is it whatever changes here? Move. Hold on. I'm just gonna see very quickly if I can make this text bigger. I can zoom in, but I can't. If I zoom in, I made it a little bit bigger, but not too much. Let's zoom in one more. Oh yeah, that's better. Right, so I can actually see what I'm reading now. So Polly's saying, I don't mind the big hole in the middle. It won't detract from the outer beads. Yeah, that looks nice, but sorry, I have to leave. I'll catch up later. Goodbye, Patricia. Have a good night. Lovely. And Lindsay's saying, evening Kitty and all, I'm sorry, I'm a bit late. Oh no, we just got started, but we are trying to work out a pendant. We're gonna start and restart again. So right, I think let me just cut these pearls up so we can have sort of a visual play. So if we want, if we started with a pearl in the middle, obviously this is gonna be less. Now let's see. From yes, from that, if you went down to 6 mil, and I'm just trying to have 6 mil here, sort of tied together. So if we had a seed bead in between, or do we need 2 to go on to the side? So if I did 3 on one side and 3 on the other side, so we need 2 seed beads in between. I think that's gonna work. And then from that we could go into our formula. Let's just get this guy out of the way. So if we start with our 8 mil in the middle, we will add these guys around it with 2 seed beads in between one of our pearls. So we're gonna come out of the 8 mil pearl, we're gonna pick up a seed bead pearl, 2 seed bead pearl, 2 seed bead pearl, go into the sort of loopy around it, and then from there we're gonna go and add our next pearls, the 4 mil, and on the top of the 4 mil, maybe at the 6 mil, we can start adding our little petals in, and then on the outer edge we can have the larger ones. I think that's going to look good. I think it's going to look good. So let's have a look. So I'm going to move this to the side. We're going to start with the 8 mil in the middle. I'm going to take more thread off the bobbin just in case if I want to finish that pendant off. But we're going to experiment with the next one. It actually looks like a little crown. For a Barbie doll, maybe. But it looks beautiful. I like the underside as well, with the seed beads. Right, take number 2. Right, let me know in the comments if you are beading along with me. And whatever you make, please send me a picture so we can show it off to everybody. I'm just gonna open up another. There we go, and just open up Facebook so I know if you sent me a message. Well, Messenger, I mean. There we go. Actually, we could add some back. Yeah. There we go. Hold on. Messenger. There we go. So we're going to start with the pearl and seed beads and the 6 millimeter ones. Right, so I'm not switch profile. I don't know. Facebook changed everything again last week. Like I don't really know. I don't really know what's going on with this, but it just changed everything again. Very good. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna go through that pearl. I'm gonna pick up one seed bead. Oh, I need some 6mm as well. One seed bead. I'm gonna pick up a 6mm, then 2 seed beads, a 6mm, another 2 seed bead, a 6mm, and 1 seed bead. Then I'm gonna come through this pearl again from the tail end. So this is my tail end here. I'm gonna come through it to form the beads on the top. And before we go any further, let's just have a look. So I think it's just about right. So I'm gonna repeat to add another one on top. So 1 seed bead, pearl, 2 seed beads, pearl, another 2 seed beads, another pearl, and oops, and I just dropped the pearl, and 1 seed bead at the end. Again, this is my tail end. I'm gonna come through from a tail end again. So I got my other side on there. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna become a bit more of an oval shape. Do we need a smaller pearl? We might need a smaller pearl. Because if we pull this together, well, let's just go through and see. We might be able to get away with it. But maybe if we had a very small pearl, like a 3mm pearl, would work the best. Right, I'm gonna run around. So I'm gonna go, I went into one loop and I'm gonna go around this loop. And instead of going into the pearl itself, I'm gonna go straight across to the other side and into the other loop. Just like that. And let's see what form is this gonna give us. And I think the pearls are too big, or if you had size 15s, I'm not sure if they're gonna sit just right. I'm just gonna go around. And again, straight across into the other loop. And pull this up. So this actually gives us more of an oval shape. I think the pearls are a little bit too big. And I think we significantly need to reduce them. Oh, Wendy's saying, I've spent a day making the bugle bead Russian spiral bracelet. I love these. I don't have to think too hard. No, they are, I love those bracelets too. So what do we think? I think small pearls. 3mm pearls. We just need some little decoration around it to sort of take your eye off the things. Have I got enough thread? I might have enough thread. So I'm just going to leave this on, and I'm going to take another pearl and start again. But this time, instead of using the 6mm, I'm going to go down to the 3mm pearl and then see what happens. Need some, so 1 seed bead, 1 pearl. And this is actually how it works. So whenever we're working out any design, like or any jewelry or any pendant, any bracelet, anything like that, this is how magic happens. You just sit down and then you just start playing, and then you just play and play and play. Right, I'm gonna go through the middle again. Let's see. So this case is sitting around it better. Can you see? I think probably the 3mm pearl is a better size. Even the 4mm would be too big. So let's go with this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, and the pearl 3, and another seed bead. So I got 3 pearls. I got a seed bead, pearl, 2 seed bead, pearl, 2 seed bead, pearl, 1 seed bead. I'm going to come from the tail end again, just like that, and I'm going to straight go into, so this is more like a round loop. Straight go into the loop and just run around it. Just run around it to form a nice strong base. And again straight across into the other loop. And there we go. If this fails, then we're gonna have to try just to put seed beads around it in the first row. So I'm still going round. It's not a bad shape. I think the other one is not a bad shape either, but it's just gonna end up like a different pendant or a different bit. Right, come on, hold on to that tail end. Again, I'm gonna go straight over. Just like that. I'm just gonna come around into this loop as well, back to the top of that pearl, and I'm just gonna go past it until I go to the next pearl and 1 seed bead. And I think if you wanted to add anything on the top, now we're gonna have to make a seed bead loop, and then so if you make a seed bead loop on the top of these, then the bead's gonna have to sit in between. Or do we go and add, that's an idea. That's an idea. I got an idea. I'm gonna grab the 4mm pearls just for a sec, cut that strand, and the idea I have that instead of working with the seed beads just yet, if we add a pearl on top of the pearl, just sort of have, and actually this bundle is quite nice because the pearls are different colors, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So if I'm adding that pearl onto there, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go to the next seed bead and pearl. I want to come out of a pearl, and I'm going to add a 4mm pearl. A 3mm wouldn't be big enough because the gap there is just a little bit bigger, so we do need the 4mm for this to work. And I want the pearls at the front, although they're just going to sit to the side for now, but once we go and add something behind it, they're gonna be pushed to the front. Need a few more. So I'm adding a 4mm into the 3mm. It looks quite pretty actually. Oops, I'm off the camera. There we go. So I'm just adding a pearl in between every single pearl and making sure those seed beads just sit towards the back. How would it work with 1 seed bead in between? So if you wanted to do just 1 seed bead, then what you would have done, on the top of the loop, you need to start with a pearl. Then it would be seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl. I think you kind of maybe need about 4 or 5 seed bead pearls. And on the other side, you finish with a seed bead. And when you come to do the next loop, you start with a seed bead and then you finish with the pearl. Right, let's go around. Oh, I like this. I like this already. I like it better. Need another 2. And actually, joking aside, we could. Oh, I'm gonna add some seed beads in between. And we could start our petals somewhere. I'm just adding the last one in. Let's just pull this up and let's just assess it. So if I wanted to add the next petal in, I could even add it in here in between the pearls. Do I need a seed bead in between? Come on, turn around. I want you to sit that way. If I just added this and I didn't add any seed beads, it will pull it in. It will pull those pearls up to the top. So let's try that. I'm going to go through the next pearl, just like that. Oops. I'm going to send the whole thing flying and pick up a crystal. Go to this is a smaller one I picked up. Go to the next pearl. And when I pull this up, this one just going to sit on the outer edge, just like, oh, look at that. That's like so nice wedged in there. Like, let's go around because this is going to turn into more of a 3D, pulling it together. Don't forget, we still got the seed beads to loop onto. I'm just going to get around, adding these in. Have you tried it, Linda, with one bead? Do let me know in the comments if it worked, and if it worked, how many, what was the number you need. Oh, look, I like that already. There we go. And I'm just going to go to the next lot. And the next one. Oh, and we haven't even, oh, I know I want to try the bugle beads. And the next one. So we added one row. I'm going to go through the, actually, let's go with the pearl and the crystal. So, and pull this up nice and tight. Where are we going to add our next row on? Where are we going to go from here? We do need seed beads behind these to turn them, I think. So they sit more towards the front. So I'm going to go back into the next pearl and I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads and go to the next pearl. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And make sure that 3 seed beads sitting right behind the crystal. And carrying on adding those 3 seed beads in behind the crystals. So that will, what's that's going to do, just going to make sure our crystal is sitting towards the front. It's just supporting it from the back. And another 3. And another 3. And I'm going to pull this up nice and tight. And the next one. I think that looking quite nice. You can't really see the 3 mils anymore though, because he pulled all the beads on top of it, but I think it's nice that it's there. Right, going through the last pearl. Okay, so what we have to work out now, where our next lot's gonna go. So if you want to add more petals, do we want a petal like there, or do we want a larger one? I think the larger one would look quite nice. So in that case, I think we're gonna need seed beads coming up and a pearl. So let's just add this in here. So if I want that to sit there, let's just see what pearl can we fit. So I think the 4 mil will be too small because there's a gap there. Let's just get that one out. So I think we're going to need the 6 mil here. We're going to use all of the sizes. So we need the 6 mil pearl to sit just there, I think. What do we think? Do let me know in the comments. It looks like a rosette. Yeah, absolutely. Linda hasn't got any pearls. She's only doing it with seed beads. Lou is saying, I have done 1 seed bead, 1 pearl, 4 pearls at the top, 3 at the bottom. Yeah, actually it can be different size because you're going to go around. It doesn't have to be 6. It can be 7. A flower can have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,000 petals. It doesn't really matter. So I think that's going to look nice. So now what we need to work out, that if that's going to go around like that, And we're gonna have our 6mm pearls in between. Oh, it's so pretty. 6mm pearls in between. Like, where are the 6mm pearls? How are we gonna? We have to secure the 6mm pearls on first, and what we're gonna secure them onto. So if I turn this around, and it's gonna sit like that. So those are sitting. The pearls gonna have to sit on the top of the crystals. So as I'm coming out of that pearl, let's have a look. So it's either, can we do another round on the pearl with another lot of seed beads, or shall we do it on the seed beads? I don't know. I think we might have to add these ones first, because those are the ones we're going to go in the middle on the top of the pearl, and then we can secure it to those seed beads. So let's have a look. If I come out of there, let me just pop this onto, I just turn this around, because at the moment I'm looking at the back here. So turn it around. I want this to sit that way, just there. So I don't want to add so many seed beads, and we pick up the pearl afterwards. 1, 2, 3. So if I need to connect it up with, like, for example, that one seed bead in the middle, or even if I do the 3, I think 3 and 3 will work. Okay. So I'm clear as mud, aren't I? Yeah. As I'm coming out of the pearl, I'm going to go through the next 3 seed beads. Then I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads, and let's just see. I'm going to pick up a large crystal and another 3 seed bead. And then I'm going to go through the next 3 seed beads underneath the next crystal, just like that. And when I pull this up, hopefully this will be right amount, and we add the pearl in afterwards. And then when we add, after we added the pearl in, we can add in more seed beads to support this one to sit the other way. Now, do we need 3 or we just need 2? That's the question. Do we need 3 or perhaps just 2? If I just added 2, would it sit? I think it would sit more onto the top. If I just added 2 here. But then the pearls might not, because the pearls I still have to fit in. So 3. Well, let me just pick up 2 and see. I can always take it back and see how does it look with 2. 1, 2, and we just see which one will be sitting. I mean, this is like, you really have to visualize it. Like, we really have to kind of like imagine it. How's it going to look like once you had the whole row on it? So that's 3. I think the 2 might be a better, because imagine that once the pearls are going to be sitting in between and we put some more seed beads behind. Let me just zoom out a bit, and because I keep going off. And actually, if I like to work here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move my camera down. So if we had the 2 on, it's going to come towards the top. Just like that. 3 is going to be, no, I think I'm going to stick with the 3. I'm going to stick with the 3. So I'm going to take the 2 off. Let's take my needle off quickly. There we go. Take the crystal off. I'm forever just... Can you hear next door's children? They're in the garden. Bless them. 1 seed bead, a crystal, and another 3 seed beads. And I'm going to go through the next 3 again. And I'm going to do this all the way around, and then we can add the pearl in between the crystals. I mean, at the moment it's going to look like a little bit wonky, but once we add the pearls in, it's going to tighten up. One, 2, 3. Going through these. One, 2, 3. Picking up another large one. 1, 2, 3. Going through the next lot. Two more to add. Going to picking up the next one. 1, 2, 3. Going to the 3 seed beads again. And then I'm just adding my last lot. 1, 2, 3. Need a few more seed beads. One is saying it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty, but once we finished with it, it's going to look even prettier, I'm sure. We're going to tweak it and tweak and tweak it, and that's what I do. I just sit down and play, and I'm already thinking on the next one, I'm not going to have the pearl in the middle. I'm going to start with seed beads and then add a pearl onto the top of it. So it will be like a slightly different technique again. Now I'm going through the last 3 seed beads, the last section here, and then I'm going to come up through the seed beads and into that first crystal. And let's see, do we need a seed bead in between the pearls, or just the pearl will be enough? I think we need a seed bead because it's the gaps like kind of like become a little bit bigger, or not? What do we think? Yeah, I think we need a seed bead. We're going to need a seed bead. So I'm going to pick up a seed bead, pearl, seed bead, go through the next crystal. Because you want to pull it a little bit tighter, but you don't want it to pull too tight because then it's just going to bring it up towards the front. Again, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. Go through the next one. Seed bead, pearl, seed bead, and this is a 6mm pearl I added in here. Go through the next one, seed bead, need a pearl, seed bead. Next one, seed bead. I think it looks nice. Just pick some pearls off. Pearl, seed bead. Going through one more section to add. Oh, I think it's going to be really pretty. Last section. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to go into the next seed bead and pearl just to pull it nice and tight. It looks quite nice. So what we need to do now, we need to add seed beads behind this crystal. So then those seed beads will force this crystal to turn forward again, or another bead. We could add in a couple of smaller pearls as well, not just a seed bead. Let's just turn it around and have a look. The back looks quite nice as well. So as we're coming out of the pearl, we want this to be quite... I'm going to go into the seed bead and I'm going to pick up, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 seed beads and see if that will be the right amount. So I'm just going to, as I'm coming out of the pearl, I'm going to go into the next seed bead. And I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 seed beads, maybe we need 5. There we go. 5, you need 5. So I'm going to pick up a 5th one, and then I'm going to go through the next seed bead, pearl, seed bead. And as I'm pulling this through, I want to make sure this loop is going to sit behind the crystal and I pull it tight. I'm going to go ahead and pick up my next 5 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go through next seed bead, pearl, seed bead. There we go. And as I'm pulling it up, I'm going to make sure this loop ends up behind that crystal as well, just like that. So let's just double check it. That is slightly turning it, so I think that looks good. But on this edge, and especially if this is going to be your outer edge, you don't want it all the way to turn, because you still want the pendant when you look at it from the side to see some of the crystals. So let's just quickly run around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, coming to seed bead, pearl, seed bead. Now on the next design as well, what I would like to, I got an idea to using these beautiful 3mm bugle beads. So I kind of want to run with that a little bit, but I want to start with just like perhaps 6 seed beads in the middle. And maybe we could use those bugle beads. Just sort of doing all sorts of different techniques tonight, aren't we? I love it. This is what I love. Just sit here and just play with the beads one by one. Make loads of little different samples. I think that's like looks beautiful already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is the last section I need to add in. There we go. Make sure it's all right. Yeah, it's all the way around. Right, so I do think now we did the 3, it's a little bit gappy, so maybe we should have stopped and did it with 2 so that it sits more towards the top. But we could still pull this together slightly and then you're gonna see this. If I do that, you're gonna see the thread. If you run around, I'm gonna run around one more time the crystals and the pearls, but I'm gonna leave out the seed beads. So I'm just sewing the crystals and the pearls together, but I'm not gonna go through and not gonna go into any of the seed beads, and that's gonna pull our outer edge inwards even more, just by leaving the seed beads out. So I'm just going through a crystal bead, then straight into the pearl, ignoring the seed beads in between. And there we go. And every single time I come out on the pearl, I pull on my thread a little bit more. And you don't want to pull when, like, not just this crystal, any crystals. When you're working with crystals, I always like to pull my thread tighter when I'm coming out of a seed bead or a pearl or anything else I'm working with it, because sometimes crystals, as I facet them, could have a little bit sharper edge and cut your thread. It happens very rarely, but it does happen. So that's getting a little bit tighter. So I like the look of that. And I think we are all the way around. So we could now go ahead and add. I'm not sure about the colors. I think there is too many colors going on there. So we need to definitely reduce the colors. For me, it's just too much. Like I maybe want 2 or 3 colors in there max, but because these are colorful as well, and then we have got the teals coming on and the pink and a gold and that beautiful like ivory color is just too much. That's the back of it. That's how the back turned out. Right, so I think for the next idea, so we had this one. So we started off with this one, then we progressed into this one. So I think we are on the right tracks. We do need to start small in the middle, aren't we? Do let me know in the comments, that for the next one. Are we gonna start small in the middle, or what we're gonna do? Do let me know. I think we could do like a little one just with seed beads. The gold pearls were 6mm. For me, I would use gold or pink instead of the green pearls. Yeah, absolutely. Too many colors went in there. I agree with you 100%. Right, I think let's try. I'm gonna pop these to the side. Just cut this. I'm just gonna cut the tail end off. I'm even gonna leave this guy just there on the side just to remind me that was too big. So yeah, I think we do need to, we need to, it's, I don't like the middle. I don't like the pearls in there. Maybe let's take the pearls out of the equation and just use seed beads. But I really want to try something with these bugle beads. I kind of have an idea. So let's run with that one first. And I'm still going to use the size 11s. You got so much crystals in this bundle, so we could make plenty of pendants here. The back is pretty too, yeah, Elizabeth is saying. Right, okay, so we're going to need a few of those. I'm going to thread my needle again. And this time, I'm going to start with 6 seed beads in the middle. Quickly, come on, needle. There we go. I'm going to start with 6 seed beads in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna take this. Oh, maybe we could have started without a seed bead. Oh, I got another idea already, and I haven't even done this one. I'm gonna go through all of these again to form a circle from my tail end, and come to maybe the first 2. Again, just to sort of work away from the tail. So I got this little circle. Now I'm going to pick up a bugle, and I'm going to pick up a seed bead. Take these all the way down. Then I'm going to come back on myself. I'm going to ignore the seed bead, and I'm just going to come back through that bugle bead, and I'm going to straight go into the next seed bead on my circle. So when I pull this up, this bugle bead just going to sit there like a little... You know what it reminds me? Like on the bicycle wheels, you got what they called. What the metal bits on your on the bicycle wheel called? I'm sure there's a special name for it. There we go. Taking it all the way down, coming back through the bugle bead. Going into the next seed bead. So I'm just creating this little, I don't even know what to name this. With the little bugles sticking out of my circle. Just like that, into the bugle, crystal. There we go. Bugle, seed bead. Did I say crystal? Spokes, that's it. Thank you, Caroline, Judith, and Elizabeth. They're called spokes. You learn something every day. So I'm just adding the last one in here. And then I'm going to go through the next one. And I'm going to come into my first bugle bead and seed bead, and we're going to see what we can do. What bead can we put in between? What will fit in? So we can either start, straight away adding a crystal in, because we still have the seed beads to hook onto. So we're gonna have, oh, that would look nice. I think that would look nice. Let's add the crystal in. So I'm gonna add the crystal, and I'm gonna jump to the next one, and go to the seed bead on the top of that bugle bead. Ooh, that looks pretty. Right, get a few more of these crystals out. Let's get this bead out of the way. Okay, so let's keep them going around. Just picking up a crystal, the smaller one, and going through the next little seed bead on the top. Let's get this tail out of the way. There we go. Just pull it down. Another crystal, another seed. Another crystal, another seed. There we go. Oh, look how nice does that look. Just the crystals. No pearls, just the crystals themselves. Right, now I'm gonna go ahead. Once I get around, I'm just gonna run. I might just run through just lightly. Right, this is six crystals. Is not giving us, so it's cupping up already. I can see that it's not giving us enough. We do need, if we added an extra seed bead, it would have been too big. So maybe use one extra one. Like, I'm not going to pull this too tight. If I didn't have the seed beads in the middle, I think it would be the perfect size. So, right. Can you see what I'm saying? So if I pull it up, can you see that? But we could add a pearl into the middle. So there's always an argument to a counter argument, isn't there? So if you added a pearl, one little pearl in the middle, then it doesn't matter if it cups up a little bit, because it won't be visible. So okay, in that case, let's just go ahead. I'm going to entertain this pattern a little longer. So I want to come out of a seed bead. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go through, where's my tail end? My tail end is there. I'm going to go through the next seed bead. And we're going to do our usual. So we want this loop of seed beads to sit behind our crystal. So it forces our crystal to sit towards the front properly. So picking up another 3 and going through the next seed bead. So if you just joined us and this is for the first time, we are just doing a creation station. We are just playing together with some beads. There was a bead bundle we had on the website, on Totally Beads website, and then we're just playing together. And actually, as we are been on here for an hour and a half already, can you please send me the pictures? What have you been doing, so I can pull it in and show it off to everybody? If you've been doing the same as I've been, or have you been doing your own numbers, do let me know. 3. I'm just adding 3 seed beads behind every single one of those crystals. There we go. I'm pulling this up. And adding the last one. And I think what we need to do for the next row, we might be able to turn our 6 petals into 12. So not using the larger one. So we got 2 options here. We either use the smaller one, but we're gonna add an extra row of petals, quite similar how we did it with Amos bead pendant, just like that. I need a few more of these. What do we think? Do let me know in the comments. What shall we do next? So we could turn our 6 petals into 12 petals, or do we want to go ahead and add the larger ones in? So double the petals or make them larger? Let me know in the comments, what would you like to do? Judy's saying, I haven't made anything, just trying to see which seed beads control the crystals. What do you mean? Which seed beads control the crystals? So we're going to add smaller ones, or we're going to add the larger ones? To like double the smaller ones. It doesn't really sit right because there's nothing behind it. But we're going to either add double up the smaller ones or add the larger one. What do you think? Now you're hiding the bugles. Yeah, that's what I think as well. So we really need to start just with the bugles, to be honest. But they're there. We know they're there. Another row of smaller ones, larger. Gwen is saying, Elizabeth is saying, I'm just watching you. I'm not sure. I think if we stayed with the smaller ones, but then the larger ones looks nice as well. If we added the larger ones in, like if we stay with the smaller ones, we can just add seed beads. If we added the larger one in, then we definitely need a pearl, some sort of size of pearl to sit there. If we use this 6mm pearl, what we then can do is to add the 6mm pearl in the middle as well. So it would come back. Obviously the hole wouldn't show. There we go. It would come back the pearl. So we only would use one pearl. I think that would look quite nice. Maybe another row of smaller one first. Is there an email we can use to send the picture? I'm not on Messenger. So if you want to send it to an email, then send it to kitty@totallybeads.co.uk. Let me just pop that in there. I haven't got a Creation Station one made up yet. So I'm just going to pop it in the chat for you. There we go. You can send it down and then I can pull it across. There we go. Right angle weave and then embellishing with crystals. Yeah, that's kind of like that. But there is different. The ones we did before, it was more like sort of netting going on the top of it. So we are doing all sorts of different things tonight. Let us try to add the bigger ones, and we're gonna have these bigger pearls in between, and then we can add a pearl in the middle as well and see how that's gonna look like, because I think that's gonna look like quite nice as well. So we're gonna have to add what we have. We got 3 seed. Let me just turn this around. So we got 3 seed beads. We're gonna have to add the crystals on first again, but instead of picking up 3, we're just gonna pick up 2 seed beads. So I'm gonna go along and I wanna come out. We added 3 seed beads in behind, so I wanna come out of the middle one. So I'm gonna go through the 2 seed beads of the first loop. I turn this around. There we go, and then I'm gonna pick up. Just hold this to it. I want this to sit nice and straight. I think 2 seed beads is enough. So I'm gonna, or shall we do the bugle again? But you're not gonna see the bugle anyway, so might as well just use 2 seed beads, the crystal, and another 2 seed beads. Then I'm gonna jump to the next loop underneath and go through the middle one. I'm gonna repeat this all the way around. Come on, let's get this tail out of the way. Oh, I think we got caught up, and just pull this back. Yeah, and that's, oops, there we go. So 2 seed bead, then the crystal and 2 seed bead. Right, I'm gonna move these bugles beads out of the picture a little bit because I'm not using them. And I think the next one, if you want the bugles bead to show up, and I got another idea for the bugle beads, then we're gonna have to start not seed bead, but with just the bugle beads. Right, I'm gonna go to the middle one again, and I'm gonna follow this all the way around. We could even add a smaller crystal in between the bigger one. It don't have to be a pearl. 1, 2, larger crystal, 1, 2 seed beads. Again, 1, 2 seed beads, a larger crystal, and 2 seed beads. And going through the next one. And then the last loop. I'm liking the look of this the best. So less pearls. And just using the seed beads. I mean, instead of those bugle beads, we could just edit seed beads on there, to be honest. Right, I'm going through the last one, and then I'm going to come up through until I come up through this first crystal we added. I'm going to pull this up nice and tight. Hold on, there we go. And just pop it down and just have a look. So I think now the pearls are going to be exactly the right there. We don't need a seed bead in between, so I'm just going to, as I'm coming out of that crystal, I'm going to pick up the pearl and go into the next crystal, and then I'm going to add pearls all the way around. Louise saying she sent me a picture. I'm just going to go and refresh my email here. Pull this up, picking up the next one, and going through the next one. I think it's coming together quite nicely, this one. So far, this one is my favorite. But this is like anything, like the little butterfly, not butterflies, dragonflies you worked out in the last one. Oh, I think this one would look really nice on the front of a necklace if we did like a netted necklace, just with netting with seed beads, and then embellish it with a few flowers. It looks like a flower, just embellish it with a few flowers like this. Now I'm going to go to the crystal and the seed bead, but the crystal and the glass pearl bead. I'm going to pop it just down, and I'm going to do the seed beads behind to turn these crystals. Like, let's just get rid of some of these crystals. It's got so, I don't know where my little triangle's gone. I had so many triangles because we've been to IKEA last week, and I bought a couple of new trolleys, and I've been moving things about, and you know how it goes. I can't find anything now. So we're going to add How many do we need behind? Let's pick up 4, and I'm going to take it then, and we might need the 5th one. There we go. No, I'm going to need the 5th one. The 4 is still going to show a lot of thread. So I'm going to pick up 1 more, and then I'm just going through the next pearl. And I'm going to make sure this loop is going to sit behind the crystal. So when I pull this up nice and tight, it just turns the crystal. Can you see? Already it's turned it, and we haven't even gone all the way around. I mean, it looks nice, actually. Saying that, ooh, what I'm thinking, that what we could do to have another row of small crystals on this side, and then it would be if you made this into a pendant, it doesn't matter if you spun around because both sides are going to be the same. So we could do that as well. That would look really cool as well, just to have these here. But see, one idea sparks so many. I'll make sure that's sitting behind. There we go. Pull this up. Then we're going to go in with the next 5. When I see that picture just come through, let me just see. I need to airdrop this. Yeah, I think it's went over to the other. I got 2 computers here. One of them is the one what I'm streaming from, and the other one is the one we just got emails on. Right, so I'm just coming through this pearl. I think that's quite nice. And we're going to have to add 1 in the middle. That's going to look quite nice. But I can see what Lou sent through. Right, let me pull this down and I'll show you that one. There we go. It's thinking about it. It's going to bring in. There we go. So that's what Lou did. That looks beautiful as well. So you have used just the pearls. Have you used any seed beads there? Do let us know. Have you used any seed beads, or you have just used the pearls? That looks really, really great. Beautiful. Right, I'm gonna come through again, trying to add that loop at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only got 2 more to add. Let's get the tail out of the way. And again, coming through this into that pearl and adding the last 5 seed beads and coming through the last pearl. There we go. So let's have a look at the front. Oh, that one is slipped. Make sure that's towards the back. I think it still slightly need a little bit more. Maybe we need to add a little bit more seed beads just to really concentrate it in. Looks very Christmassy. Yeah, it looks a bit real Christmassy. And we're seeing 1 seed bead, 1 pearl in the first round, then just the pearls. I think it looks beautiful. Right, come on ladies, how can we improve this? What else can we do with this? How else we can simplify it? Maybe the pearls are not, something is still not sitting quite right for me. So do let me know in the comments. What do you think? How we can improve this? Maybe if we started with 7 and not 6, it would be for a pendant. Maybe it would look nicer. What do we think? How we can improve it? Can we add? Can we make it bigger? Or maybe it's using the 2 different crystals, which is like throwing me off. What can we do? Let me know in the chat. What would you do? And until you let me know in the chat, I'm just going to pop this to the side and rethread my needle. And I'm just going to use... Brenda sent me a photo. Let me just have a look at what's Brenda been doing. Oh, that looks nice. Right, let me just pull this out. And then pull it in. There we go. That looks nice as well. So how many seed beads or what have you added on the top of the pearl? And I see you got 15s in there as well. Yeah, we got all the other sides. Maybe 7 would be center to make more round. Maybe you need a round of something in between the 2 rows. Small crystals instead of the pearl. Yeah, could do. We could do all sorts of different things. Right. Okay, so threading needle and doing the next one. We will get this. How about if you reversed engineered it and started with the outside? Forget about the pearls. We've got seed beads. We got all sorts of, or very small pearls. Okay, I'm gonna take a different approach. I'm gonna start with the crystals this time, and I'm gonna do the outer edge and I'm gonna work myself into the middle. So let's see how that's gonna work out. Kind of like how we started with the beginning, but we went further out, and this time we're gonna go further in. Right, so I'm just gonna thread the needle again. There we go. Right, so I think, well, depends how big we do want to make these. I'm going to start with the larger crystals, and I'm not going to use the smaller ones. I think I'm just going to use the larger ones, and then we see what happens. I'm going to start on the outer edge. I'm going to use the 3mm pearls and the crystals and the seed beads, and that's it, and see what sort of pattern we're going to get out of just using those. 7 would be better for center, make more round. Yeah, Lorna, absolutely right. So I'm pulling my sleeves up. And there we go. You know, you're getting excited. Right, so we're gonna have, and let's do the big ones. Take the small ones out. I'm gonna use the big ones. Don't want to make it too big. So I'm gonna just pick up a pearl crystal all the way around, and then we're gonna add the seed beads on the top, and therefore the seed beads are gonna be smaller than the pearl, so they're gonna pull into the inner side. And once they pulled into the inner side, we can add more seed beads and more bits of pieces on there. There's a rogue pearl there. There we go. And another one. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not gonna do 6, we said. Let's do 8. 7. So I started with the pearl, so I need to finish with the crystal. There we go. I'm pulling all the way down, and then I'm gonna pull this into, so how big is this going to be? Do you think this is big enough? I think we might need to make it a little bit bigger. Well, it can be a small pendant. Or look like, I'm gonna go through all of these again. So I got small pearls, large crystals, and then I'm gonna add seed beads in. Looks like a little wreath. Just going around. There we go. I'm just back my tail. I'm gonna go past my tail and go through the first, I don't know, crystal and pearl. There we go. So we're gonna try to make this smaller. So we're gonna need to add a crystal or 2 crystals. So I might just leave. Do I want these to sit to the front, or do I want them to sit to the side? I might actually leave this sitting to the side and see how they look like then. So I need to pick up seed beads, which is smaller, to make this smaller. So I'm not gonna pick up 5. Let's see how 3 looks like. 1, 2, 3. Because now this time I want the seed beads to sit on the inner circle. I think 3 seed beads will be enough. So I'm just going to pick up 3 seed beads. So it's, you kind of need, and I'm going to go through the next pearl. You kind of need like uneven numbers, because then when we're going to hook into, we can hook into the middle seed bead. If you're using even numbers, then you're going to have to hook into 2 seed beads, the 2 middle one. So it's better to use uneven numbers when you're creating loops. Right, so I'm just going to add this all the way around, 3 seed beads. And going through the next pearl. And then we're going to pull the seed beads around afterwards. This is the thing, like you come up with an idea and start with a larger loop, and like you kind of trying to pull it in or out, and then you go and do all sorts of different variations, and then you kind of come back to your first idea or similar. There we go. I think that will be pretty, and then we will pull those seed beads in. So on the next row, I'm just going to go through the seed beads. I'll see if I need to add one in between, or if I can just get away just going through the seed beads themselves to pull that into a circle. There we go. So this is version number 4. But sometimes I do like 20 versions by the time I find the one I really, really like. 1, 2, 3. And going through the last pearl. I'm going to pull this up nice and tight. So already it's sort of starting to, the crystals are sitting on the outside. The seed beads are kind of pointing towards the inside. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to run around. But I'm going to run around and I'm going to add 1 seed bead. I think I'm going to need 1 seed bead in between the loop. So I'm going to go through the next 3 seed beads. And I'm just going to pick up 1 seed bead and go through the next 3. And I'm going to run around one more time. Like, let's pull that tail. I've got a rogue thread here. There we go. I'm going to run around. Could you make a square stitch or peyote base that can stitch the crystals to altering horizontal and vertical? Yeah, could do that as well. There we go. And the next one. And the next 3 is pulling into a nice little circle. And the next 3. And I'm getting these bugle beads everywhere. And let me just push them to the side. I'm almost all the way around. And the next 3. And the next 3. These crystals would look really nice on the side of the bracelet, and I'm really, the next thing I would do want to try, like if you concentrate on pendants tonight, maybe I will do another session later on this month. I do want to try on bracelets because I think they would look perfect on the top of a Hugs and Kisses pattern, or they would look perfect on a side of a bracelet as well. Well, necklaces as well. But you know me, I love bracelets. Right, so I added the last little seed bead in. Just pulling this tight. Now I want to go in. It's pulled into a nice little circle. I like the look of this so far. I want to go in and I'm going to add probably a seed bead, pearl seed bead on the, in between. So I want to add them onto, you know, the single seed beads we added in between the loops. So I'm going to go into one of those, and then I'm going to pick up a seed bead, pearl seed bead, and go into the next one we added. So I'm going to miss 1, 2, 3 seed bead on this circle, go into the 4th one. And when I pull this one is a little bit larger, like it's sticking up at the moment, but it's not a problem because in the next row, we're going to pull this together. So seed bead, pearl seed bead. You're going to miss 3 seed beads and go through the 4th one. And keep going all the way around. All right, let me have a little bit of my drink. Susan says she likes, yeah, absolutely love it as well. You know, sometimes there is, like, as a designer, like we always try to use all sorts of different materials, using all sorts of different finishes, all sorts of different colors, or all sorts of different sizes. But sometimes less is more. Sometimes you just need to take away some of the colors or some of the sizes or some of the finishes, and the design becomes so much better. But then equally, sometimes you need to add more to it. Right, going through the next one, I got like another 3-4 section to add. Let me know if any of you are sending me a picture so I can show it to everybody. Like, I'm adding the last one in now, and then we got the decision to make if you're going to add more crystals, or we add something else in the middle and leave the crystals just on the add side. We then can go back to the add side and add the loop of seed bead behind, so they're more sitting to the front if we want to, or we leave them sitting just like that. So Don't let me just, my thread is just twisted, naughty thread. Right, can we see? I think that looks really, really pretty. So what I want to do now, actually, first of all, I want to get rid of all of these. When you're working with pearls, sometimes the coating goes inside the pearl as well. And that's what you see on the table, that they come out. They just look like if my table was dusty or dirty, and it really annoys me. That's why I always got a little lint roller here to get rid of any of those. There we go. So now we need to pull these in together. So I'm going to go in, and I think the right amount, because that's going to pull together, is I'm going to go into the pearl. I think we might just have to go add one seed bead in between the pearls. I'm just going to pick up one seed bead and go into the next pearl. I just see. Yep, I think that just pulls around nicely. Oh, you know what would look nice? A Rivoli might look really nice in this. Let me just go around. So I'm just adding one seed bead. Should have. Oh, there's another way we could have done. Instead of adding the loops, we could have shared the seed bead, one of the seed beads, in between two loops. So they would have been set better. Might have to try that as well. It looks like a bezeled edge. Yeah, absolutely. I've got some Rivolis here. I grab a Rivoli and we can pop it behind it, because actually what could happen that you have got, if we added the same seed bead, pearl seed bead on one more time to the back, then this one would sit to the front. Maybe we would need one size bigger because the hole might not be big enough. But let me just grab a Rivoli. They're just there. So if I grab something like a goldish color, so it shows up, that would look nice in the middle, I think. Really, really nice. Need to make it bigger. So instead of 10, we would probably need 12. But I think that would look really nice in a Rivoli in the middle. Now, because we haven't got a Rivoli, how about adding a pearl, one 8mm pearl right into the middle. Is this small enough, or do we need to add something else in there? What do we think? Blingy, Elizabeth saying, yeah, with the Rivoli would be really blingy. Elizabeth is saying, I was just thinking something really nice, like really would look really nice. Yeah, I was just to say you could add a Rivoli, as Susan was saying as well. Yeah, like this is the thing, you could end up anywhere. If I reduce that seed bead to a 15, I think then we would have probably about the right amount of size, because then at the moment, if I turn it sideways, can you see somewhat this is a little bit domed? So if we had a 15, it would probably pull it together. If you use the 15, it will pull it together better, and then the pearl's going to sit in. And then we still got the decision to make that if we're going to pull these more towards the front. I think they kind of tiny bit need to come towards the front. So I'm going to take my thread back. I'm going to take my thread back. Take these 11s off definitely, and I'm just going to have a look at my loops, because I think The reason this is not, doesn't want to sit down towards the bottom, because those two seed beads are not playing, they're not sitting right. And I know what we need to do. So I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take the seed beads off, and actually I'm going to take the loops off, and I'm going to show you a different technique how to add those loops on by sharing the bottom seed bead together. So then it will sit more flush. I'm just going to very quickly get them all off. So if we did it this way, we would have needed slightly bigger. This would be a perfect way to have a rivoli in the middle. But it's too small for this rivoli, because for the rivoli like that, like at this point, the rivoli would need to be, let's get this out of the way. The rivoli would need to be able to fit through the hole in the middle, and it doesn't. This doesn't really, it's not gonna fall through. So if you wanted to add the rivoli in the middle, that technique will be perfect, how we just did it. But you need to start, depending on the size of the rivoli, you need to start with, this is 8, maybe 10. We can try that later. Right, okay, I'm gonna take some back to where I added the one seed bead in between my 3 seed beads. And we're gonna kind of do a different thing. So I'm gonna start by, well, there's 2 ways we can do this, but I'm gonna start by so I need a seed bead, a pearl, and a seed bead to start with. And I'm going to go through the next one. And then straight away, I'm going to come back up through the single seed bead towards my pearl. Just like that. Then I'm going to pick up, this might not even be the right amount, a pearl and a seed bead. And then I'm going to go through the next one, but I'm coming back towards me. I'm going to go through the next one, but I'm coming back towards me. Oh, Mina is here. She says, good evening, everybody. Right, let me just go through this seed bead and I can read the message. So Miss went to a birthday party. Oh, I hope you had a lovely time. And then I'm going to straight come back up into that seed bead. And I'm going to pick up a pearl. And just want to spin that. I'm going to pick up a pearl and one more seed bead. Again, I'm going to go through the next one I need to go through, but I'm coming back towards myself. Should have maybe picked up different color there so we could have seen it better. And straight away, I'm going back up, and I can already see they're sitting nicer together. And pull this up. It's sitting more flush. I'm going to pick up a pearl and another seed bead. I'm just going to run around. So again, I'm coming back towards myself. And then going up. Oh no, sorry, seed pearl and then the seed bead. And then going out, pearl and seed bead again. I'm almost all the way around. Come on, tail end, get out of the way. Going back up, and whatever you design, whatever jewelry you design, this is it. It's like we might be sending 3 hours here and not really going to walk away with anything solid. We might be spending 20 minutes here and come up with something. Oh no, the pearl first. I keep picking up the seed bead first. We might be coming up something really good. So you never really know. It's all about the playing, that we are sitting here and just having fun really. And we might have 20 different versions by the end of the evening, and that is just fine. Right, so I need to add my last unit. On the last unit, I don't need to add a seed bead because the seed bead actually is already there in front of that pearl. So I'm just going to pick up a pearl, and I'm going to go through, let me just turn this, I'm going to go through this seed bead which is already on the first loop. Oops. And I just got caught up with the 6mm pearls. Right, let me I just need to use this stop. I need to move these bugle beads. Like, you know those little triangles I have, and when you haven't got them to hand, you really, really miss them. They are so great. Right, let's pull this up nice and tight. So now we have got a nicer sort of middle. And I don't think we actually need a seed bead in between. I think we can get by just using the pearls. What do you think? I think we definitely need to turn these slightly so they sit somewhat towards the front. But I think that will be pretty. Will the pearl fit in now? I think, yeah, look, the pearl will fit in perfectly now. So we could actually go ahead and just add the pearl in, and then sew. I would probably add the pearl in first and then sew the other pearls together in a round, because if you pull those pearls in a round, then you might run the risk of pulling it too tight, but then if you pull it too tight, you can always fit a 6mm in it. Which one looks better, the 6mm or the 8mm? What do we think? Which one shall we try to design it around, the 6mm or the 8mm? So this is the 6mm. That might be too small, or the 8mm itself. Do let me know. What do you think? Which one is the better one? Elizabeth saying I have to go now. I've enjoyed watching you, and we'll see you the rest later. Bye everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good evening, Elizabeth. Saying Ruth, wasn't too much of rose wine since the 30 p.m. Oh, bless you. Wendy's saying the 8mm. So I'm gonna go with the 8mm. I'm gonna go through the next pearl. Oh no, hold on. We are looking downwards, so I need to go through this seed bead and turn my direction down because my thread is actually facing outwards at the moment. So I'm just going to go through this single seed bead at the bottom and then go back up to turn my thread path around. There we go. And I'm going to go into the one of the pearls, doesn't matter which one. There we go. I'm going to go pick up my 8mm pearl, and I'm going to take my thread diagonally up to the top, and I'm going to go through that pearl just there and pull this up nice and tight. And now I'm going to run down because I want to centralize somewhat my pearl, and I think we do need either as 15, but if you start adding 15 in there, would 11 be maybe the 11 if you add an 11 on the top? Yeah, I think we might be able to get away with an 11. So I'm going to pick up an 11, go through the next pearl, just like that, pick up another 11, go to the next pearl, there we go, pick up another 11, go to the next pearl, and then I'm right down at the bottom. I'm going to go up to the pearl again, pull this through, and this time I'm going to turn the other way. So I went clockwise, and now I'm going to go anti-clockwise and add the seed beads in here. just all the way around. There we go. I think that looks actually pretty. Looks really pretty. I will add the loops on the outer edge to turn those crystals. Right, I'm right at the top, so I'm just going over to the other side. Then I'm gonna go down towards the bottom. Might be too big. So hold on, let's just have a look. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Might have been better to use size 15s. But actually, if I left the pearls there, and if we left the crystals facing outwards, we need a seed bead here. Could we add, like, I kind of see like there's a ridge between the pearls we just added with the seed beads in this inner row and the crystals themselves. Could we add something else in between there? I'm just pulling all these up and around. Just gonna go one more time here. There we go. And pull this up nice and tight. So could we add, I know this is might not be, it's probably too big. Yes, it's too big, a 4 mil, something in that gap. Or are we going to turn the crystals? Let's turn the crystals and see how does that look. Well, I just heard Diane just sent the picture through as well. Let me just pull this out and then I can pop it in for you to have a look. So did you start it like with 4 millimeters in the middle? Then, or are they 3 millimeters? Do let me know. They look like 4 mil actually. Or are you using the smaller or larger crystals, Diane? Do please let us know in the chat that which one are you using, so we would know as well. Right, I'm gonna take my needle out to the outside. So I'm gonna come out the next pearl and seed bead and just go down. I think it looks really nice, but I'm still not 100% happy with it. I still need tweaking. There we go. And then I'm gonna go in the 3 seed beads there. I'm gonna get to the pearl. And this time I'm gonna pick up 5 seed beads and go to the next pearl. And make sure the loop gets underneath the crystal, just like that. It's not going to turn it a lot, but it's going to turn it up, and actually it's going to take that ridge up when it turns. So just keep the tail end there. Need some more seed beads. Picking up 5 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And going to the next pearl. When I pull this up, I want this loop to go under this crystal. And I'm going to carry on all the way around. There we go. And going through the next pearl. Just like that. And making sure that loop goes underneath there. I don't know actually if 4 seed beads would be enough, because but then we could pull those together. One, two, three, 4, 5. Maybe 4 seed beads would have been a better number, but I'm going to stick with 5 for now. And just making sure those seed beads are go underneath it, like slightly underneath it. Just turns it a little bit. Can you see the difference? So this one is still sitting to the side, and they're just slightly towards the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Diane is saying, used all 4mm and small crystal. Taken me all night when I think what you have done. Oh, bless you. We haven't really done much tonight. I'm just playing, but that's the beauty of it. Like sometimes we just need to play. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And going through the next one. I think Diane sent me another message. Another picture. I'll pull that out just in a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And going to the next one. So I'm making sure all those loops are underneath the crystal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And coming up, I think I've got one more to add. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I think we are getting there. I'm happier with this one than any of the other ones. But I'm still not happy with the middle. I think we still could do better on the middle. So the outside is okay, I think now. And they are looking slightly sort of from the side to the front. So they're not on the side, they're not on the front, they're looking from the side to the front. So when you wear the pendant, like if this is your side, you can see the crystals quite nicely there. So I'm really happy with that, but I'm still not happy with this middle. The middle bit is still need working out, but I'm gonna put this on the back burner for now, because sometimes you just need to sleep on it, and then we come back, and sometimes you sleep on it and you come back and you got it perfectly. So I need to have a little think. Maybe we should have added 15s in there, or maybe start with a different size. But definitely there's something. There is something. So what else shall we try? I wonder if we tried a little unit of 4. 1, 2. No, then I would sit like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if we did 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got an idea. If we did right angle weave going around like that, then we could come back and add the pearls on the side. Let's just run with this for a sec. So I'm gonna knock what do you say? Knock it on the head. I'm gonna knock these pendants on the head. We had a little go. We did different things. I think I need to sleep on it. This is going to be really beautiful, but I just need to work out the right number of what would be go in the middle. I don't like that pearl, to be honest. I think it looks beautiful, but it could look even better if we tidied it up. Maybe if you go back to the original idea, so instead of that pearl, we would have the little bugle beads coming in. Maybe. So I'll let me sleep on this. I'm gonna pop this to the side and see what happens. But we had made 4 different versions of this, so I just need to have a little bit. But I want to try that. Let's try something different. Let's put this to the side, and I'm gonna get out size 8 seed beads, slightly bigger ones. And I'm gonna use, actually let's use these crystals, because the other one, I don't know if it will have enough. So I'm gonna use the other larger, the gold larger crystals from the kit. And if all fails, you go back to right angle whip. That's what we usually do. Let's get this knotted on there. There we go. Right. So I'm going to use, actually let's change the thread as well to that. Right, I'm gonna do, there we go. Is it in? Are you threaded, your needle? Right, so new pattern, new thing. Crystal, seed bead, crystal, seed bead. Might need a bigger seed bead, or might need 2 seed beads. Let's just roll with 1 for now. And another seed bead. So I'm going to sew the 4 units together. I'm going to go through all 4 of them one more time. I'm going to go past my tail. I'm actually going to go through not just that crystal, but the next seed bead crystal as well. And then I'm going to pick up, because I want this to kind of sit. I want that to sit there. Will this be enough? No, there's not enough gap. Okay. We need either a bigger seed bead. So the 2. So if I look at, let's look at it from the back. If I want this to sit to the front, what sort of gap do I have there? You turn around. Or maybe 2 size 11. Or 2 size 8, or 1 size 6. We've got size 6 in here as well. If we add the size 6 in, or 2 size 11s, and just pick up 2 size 11s onto the edge of the needle and just try it in there. Now I don't think 2 size 11s will be big enough. Let's do 2 size 8. I'm just gonna leave that there and pick up 2 size 8, the crystal, 2 size 8, the crystal, 2 size 8, the crystal, 2 size 8, and another crystal. I'm going to go through all of them again. So instead of 1 size 8, I'm going to go with 2 to give more space for the crystals to be able to turn later on. So I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to go past my tail. And into the first 2 seed bead crystal, 2 seed bead, and the crystal. And let's have a look. So I want my next unit to be the same, and we're going to come back. I want them to kind of sit like that, and the next unit to sit like that again, if that makes sense. I'm going to pick up 2 seed bead, a crystal, another 2 seed bead, another crystal, another 2 seed bead, another crystal. So 4 times 2 seed beads and 3 crystals in between. And I'm going to go to this crystal again, the one I was coming out of before adding the beads, just like that. So then this lot, I want them, there's a rogue seed bead there, this lot I want them to sit just like that. So I'm going to get to the next section. What do we think of this? Do let me know. What about size 15, size 8, size 15? Oh yeah, we could have tried that one, 2 seed beads at the same time. Just tried row and unpicked it, Jeannie's saying. I got so many compliments for wearing a silver spiral staircase bracelet today. Mina was making those. Right, so I'm going to go onto the other side and add another one. Add another section. Oh, I'm getting caught my thread in my needle. I don't want to sew my needle to this. So when I make anything, or even if like I'm thinking of making a bracelet, I would just make maybe 5 bits, five worth of squares. Just take some more, need some more bigger ones. And then once it's worked out, and it's because you're gonna have to add seed beads underneath. Ooh, and a crisscross underneath. Oh, I know. Oh, this is gonna look good. Marriott is saying just sent an email with photo attached. Let me just turn on because it's just turned off, and I'm gonna press send and receive. There we go. So I'm gonna pick up 2 crystal, not 2 seed beads, crystal, 2 seed bead, crystal, 2 seed bead, crystal, and another 2 seed bead. Come through that crystal again. And then I'm gonna go through, get to the furthest crystal away. So I'm gonna come through 2 seed bead, crystal, 2 seed bead, crystal. I'm gonna repeat it 1 more time, maybe 2 more times, just to have a bit of a length, not too much, but just a bit of a length. Right, let me just see. Oh, I see what you did there. We got another picture from Lou as well. So let me just airdrop that to the other Mac. And then we have Margaret's one as well. Hold on, that's not, I want to open this. Ooh, somebody's a speedy beader. Let me just bring this across as well. Right, I need you to airdrop it there. Oh, is it doing? Oh yeah, that's coming through. So which one have we got first? Let's have a look. This one. So I'm going to bring this in. This is from Margaret. He's thinking about it. He's just going to bring it in. That looks beautiful. I love that. That looks really, really good. And just go back here, and I'm just gonna, I'm hoping this is bringing through loose as well. That looks really, really beautiful. So you added 4 units together, and then you added the larger crystals on top of it. That looks perfect. Right. And did this came through? I think it's doing it now. So this is another image from Lou. And I'm going to bring this in. I just zoom out a little bit. That's beautiful as well. So I can see that you went picked up a seed bead, then went that way and picked up a seed bead and turn around, so it sits in a different way. That looks beautiful as well. That really, really good. Right, I'm gonna go add another couple of this section and one more section on this one. Then we're gonna come back and add some beads behind, so it's gonna sit the right way. And there we go, we're just getting through that last crystal. Anybody else, if you've been beading or if you've been doing something, please send me a picture so I can show it to everybody. So I'm just adding another section on here, and then I'm going to turn back on myself. So we can kind of work out, oh, I don't need 3 seed beads, just 2. Kind of work out how are we going to make these sit the right way. Right, so we will need all that nice and tight. I'm going to go right up to the top. As I'm coming out of that crystal. So what we want to do to make these sit the right way. So we will need to add something behind. Some sort of beads have to go behind, and then some stuff has to be on the side. So I think the first thing we need to do is to run all the way down and then run all the way back to make this into more of a line. And then we will add seed beads. We could add seed beads underneath at the same time, I guess, for those. So, okay, let's do it at the same time. So if I'm gonna come through these first 2 seed bead, I'm gonna run down all the way on one side, and I'm gonna pick up, I reckon, 2 seed beads, and I'm gonna take this line and just have a look. Just like that. No, I need 3, so 3 seed beads. Then I'm gonna go through the next 2 seed beads and then straight into the next 2 seed beads towards the next crystal. I'm gonna pull this up and I'm gonna make sure that loop goes behind. Then I'm gonna pick up another 3, and I'm gonna go through next, gonna skip through this crystal, and I'm gonna go, just zoom out a tiny bit. There we go. I'm gonna go through next 2 seed beads, then the next 2 seed beads towards the next crystal. I'm pulled up, so that's turning those side ones. Picking up another 2, 3. Well, Diane is saying she sent another picture. I will bring that in lovely just in a sec. Just give me a sec. Let me just run down on this. And picking up another 3. And then coming down towards the bottom. Oops. Now let's pull this tight. For some reason, why is this so? There we go. Just pull it back up nice and tight. I think we're going to have to pull this in some sort of way as well, because it will spin around on itself. We work that. Let's just add them in, and then we work out what way do we need to pull them. So I'm going through the next 2. Then I'm going to pick up 3 and then just run across the other side. Because they're size 8s, I guess we could go through them loads of times, so we could make up loads of different thread paths as well. Right, going through this last two, and I'm going to go through the crystal, and I'm going to come through the first two on the other side, and I'm going to pick up the 3 seed beads again, and this time I'm going to run down on the other side. And going all the way down this side. Another 3. I suppose we could have started with the seed beads and then adding the crystals on the top as well. And skipping over that crystal, going through this towards the last one. Right, so it kind of pulls it, but it doesn't really. 1, 2, 3. It still doesn't really do what I want it to do. So we're going to have to pull them. We're going to have to make more of a base. Because see, like they're all twisting around, and I need them to sit in a certain way. And this is actually on, no, that's on the right side. I need them to sit in a certain way. So I'll just pull this up. Oh, I think if we added 3 on there and 3 on there. Oh yeah, we could have added it in different. Okay, so if I'm going to add 3, I'm just going to try something. I'm going to add 3 on there. I'm going to loop back underneath this crystal I'm coming out of. Make sure this sits in the inner side. I'm going to come along. Doesn't matter what thread path I'm following. I want to get to this crystal here. Right, just very quickly, I'm going to pop Diane's picture in there because she said she sent a better close-up. That looks really, really pretty. She's been using the smaller crystals and the 4mm pearls. So I'm going to go into this crystal here. Oh, but if I add the one on there as well, how's that's going to, because I need 3. Well, I probably have to add it on twice. So I'm going to add it on. I'm just going to add it on once and see what does it look like. So if I add it on once, make sure to go underneath. And then so I got a loop on each one of these crystals. So what I want to do is to run into these loops and sew the middle ones together. I'm just going to run with it, just try it. I know, like, if I want to have this pattern, I would have to work out a better way how to add the little loops on there, so the pattern kinda flows better. Right, so I'm just sew through those middle ones. Just like that. So I got 4, but I think the problem we're going to have is this one, that it's not going to sit the right way if you do it that way. I think, because I slightly want it to sit that way. I'm going to have to work on this. I'm going to have to rethink this one. I think I'm going to need to do a base first and then sew it onto the top. Perhaps I'm going to have a little bit more thinking of it. I quite like the look of doing a bracelet like this, where the crystals are sitting in all sorts of different ways, and actually thinking that, no, that's too big, like a pearl in the middle, one of each one of those units. I think that would look really cute, but I think I'm going to have to I'm going to have to come up with how we can do a unit at a time and then move along to the next one and not running backwards on ourselves, because I do need those. I do want those crystals to sit in a certain way. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? If you got an idea what we should do. But I do really want to run something with like that. And in that case, how we can make them sit better. How we can, or maybe we need to turn one of them. Maybe we can turn one of them in a way. If we added two, if we added a row of like 11s or 15s and then enforced the biggest size on the top, then that would sit in as a wedge already. I'm gonna have to have a play. I think I'm gonna have to put this to the side and then have a play with it, and then come back and we do another creation station in 2 or 3 weeks time. I just need to see what night I can do, what Saturday I can do, but I think definitely needs to be playing more with it. I think because we are so used to using like shapes, either a dome shape like a cabochon or round beads, it just doesn't sit the way how I want it to sit. So I need to really think about it. What will be the best way for this one to sit? Like how I can get this crystal to sit in a way I want it to sit. So do let me know in the comments if you got any ideas. And we will have another play. But then, like, I feel like, we haven't really finished anything or haven't really made anything. But to be honest, in the end of the day, the play is what counts. And the more you play with something, the better understanding you have of that product, the better understanding you have got how it's going to look or what it should look. So Brenda sent another photo. Let me just get that one up. Oh, she put you on a necklace. Look. We should have had Brenda here tonight. Look, that looks beautiful. And she put you on a necklace as well. That really goes together. I love that. I think closing the crystals in like that works very well as well. So perhaps I just need to rethink it, that how I want them to sit. And I got one more idea. But I need to have a little, I need to make more of a base, like a netted base, I think, and then sew it onto top. So kind of like work out the thread path behind it, all of it, and then come back and sew the crystals on the top. That's another way how we can approach it. So this is the thing, there's so many different things we can do and so many different things we can play with the same beads. Just sometimes it comes for the first try, sometimes you're going to have 10 tries and then we're going to have something amazing. But like, the good thing about this is that we keep on trying and we will come up with something. I love the shape of them. I think they are absolutely gorgeous. I love how they sit on a side of a pendant, and I think they're going to be great to, once you work out the right sizes and the right beads to work with it, I think they're going to look really, really good. So I'm not going to start another one tonight because it's going to be like we only got like almost 10 o'clock here. So I'm going to rethink this. I'm going to put it on the tray. I'm going to put it on the side and rethink it. Maybe have a little play in the week. But it's not going to defeat us. It's going to be, we're going to make something really beautiful of it. Just have to dream up the pattern. Have to dream up the pattern, but I think it's going to look good. So maybe do it that way. Don't worry about the pearls, don't worry about anything, just do like a seed bead mandala and then add the crystals on the top of the mandala, because then we could add it into two different rows as well, so then it would like sit right straight away. Mercy saying it's fun just to watch all the inspirational. They would look awesome on a watch chain. Yeah, that's as well. You could do so many different things with it, but as I said, that you know, in the end of the day, we could do a have I got them here? I have got 1 second. Oh yes, I have. So we could do, let me just move this tray because this one has got other bits on it. So on my little trolley, I got things lined up here for next week what I need to do. But what we could do is to make a base. This is just a square stitch base, and then add the crystals on the top of it. So I have got other things to think about and other things to look, because I think this would look really good on the top. We just added a square stitch base like that, or we would use the crystal instead of one of the seed beads in the middle. So we got loads of different things what we can do. Or maybe we just do a double drop. Maybe just a ladder stitch is enough. Maybe it doesn't have to be 3 seed bead wide. Maybe 2 is enough. So I will have a little think, because there is loads of different techniques. Like, you know how many techniques in jewelry making, there is so much. And we will have a play. But I think they're going to look nice. In the end, we will have something really, really nice. Origin is saying that was lovely, Brenda. Yeah, Brenda. Well done, lovely. That was beautiful. Right, my lovelies, have a beautiful night wherever you are. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for a little bit of a chit chat. And then we'll be back on Total Beads on Wednesday. Natalie's on Monday. She's starting a make. I think she showed you off on Friday. Did she? She's going to do like a pendant thing and earrings and like little leaves and bits of pieces, like little decorations. They're gonna they look really good. I seen the bits. They look really, really good. Right, have I got there we go, let's move it around. So I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'm gonna go and think about these crystals and what we can do with it and what more we can do with it, because I think, like for me as well, like sometimes you can have like a little bit of a block that you are doing something and you are not like you imagine it in a certain way, and when you bead it up it comes up different, and you kind of like block yourself from thinking up new ideas, like a creator's block, I guess, like a writer's block. You can have like a beader's block as well. So I'm just going to put this to the side. I'm going to think about it. I think maybe I was so excited to do something with these ones, but I'm not disheartened. I do like the pendants, but I think they need improvement. So I will have a little play, come back in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I have to check my diary, and then we will play more. So everybody have a beautiful night. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and I'll see you very, very soon.